On Eric Nixick's podcast, UFC bantamweight champ Merab Dvalishvili was asked about the difference between Sean O'Malley and Umar Nurmagomedov, especially regarding the respect he has for each of them. Merab was open about the fact that he respects O'Malley, but does not feel the same way about Umar. He explained that the reason for the lack of respect for Umar was due to certain actions or words that Umar had taken in the past, which Merab felt were disrespectful. Merab also spoke about the altercation he had with Umar backstage at the UFC 311 presser. Merab chose not to jump over the security to confront Umar, explaining that doing so would have been disrespectful. He made it clear that while emotions were high, he didn't want to escalate the situation, even after Umar shouted at him, "I'm right here, what are you gonna do?"
What's the difference in the disrespect?
Right. So first, Sean, he was actually quiet and never responded. Even I was making funny skits and stuff like this. Nothing personal, nothing disrespect. Like I was just promote the fight. Yeah, funny way, but like nothing disrespect or something like that. But so Umar, I was always very respectful to him, and I know him every time we met. So I was doing interview, and I just from nowhere he show up, and then of course like it doesn't matter where I was supposed to see. I was so mad at him, and I wanted to tell him to why you disrespect me. To be honest, I just wanted to fight him, but. And then it was camera and security. It was UFC area, and then I know I don't wanna any problem for UFC, and they don't like that. They have security and people have job, and I don't wanna cause any issue. So, and I don't wanna just jump and straight slap and something like that. And I was respectful for everybody, but I cannot just not. Straight, I asked him why you disrespect me. He said because I want. What are you gonna do about it? And then I was so mad, and then I said whatever, and it was some talk between us.
Colby Covington shed his bad guy persona just in time for the holiday season, surprising many by handing out food, water, and clothes to the homeless. Known as one of the most outspoken and unapologetic fighters in combat sports, Colby's brash persona has earned him a reputation as a controversial figure, often going to extreme lengths to get under the skin of both fans and opponents. His remarks, including jabs at Leon Edwards' deceased father, have led many to question whether there's any room for forgiveness. However, despite his trash talking and inflammatory behavior leading up to fights, Colby did something that might surprise his critics. In an act of charity, he took time out of his schedule to spread some holiday cheer by providing essentials to people in need. In Florida, he handed out burgers, water, and sweatshirts to the homeless, making their winter nights a little warmer. While this act of kindness doesn't necessarily erase his past actions or earn him a free pass heading into 2025, it's a reminder that Colby, outside the octagon, is capable of showing a more generous side. This rare gesture may not wipe the slate clean, but it certainly offers a different perspective on the fighter known for his chaos persona.
Burger? Here you go. Happy New Year, brother.
You got water there.
Are you cold? Are you cold?
Yes,
Yeah. Okay. You want a sweater?
you have any pants also?
I got a sweater. Here.
Give him a couple.
You want a water? Here you go, brother. God bless, man. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year!
Let's make it the best year yet.
Yes, 2025 gonna be the bomb.
Let's do that. Love the mindset, the perspective.
Thank you, sir.
Take care, brother. All the best.
Israel Adesanya reveals his new drastically changed training regime ahead of UFC Saudi Arabia. After Adesanya's loss to Dricus du Plessis at UFC 305, fans were left wondering what his next move would be, especially since it was the first time he had experienced back-to-back losses in his MMA career. However, when the 35-year-old signed on to fight Imavov, it became clear that Izzy isn't ready to give up on his pursuit of the 185-pound title just yet. Adding to the anticipation, Adesanya's head coach, Eugene Behrman, has revealed that the fighter's training regime will undergo some drastic changes following his recent performances. Quote, "There are a few things I'm doing quite differently with Izzy for this fight. They're a lot more drastic to what I'm usually accustomed to doing. I like to take things very steady and take a kind of if it's not broke, there's no need to fix it. But based on past performances, I thought we needed to really just kind of flip things on its head a bit. He's looking really good and responding really well to this slightly different approach approach, something that he hasn't been used to for the last few camps. I'm looking for a very vintage performance from Israel, and so far we're right on track for that." End quote. Jorge Kliman, Ilia Topuria's coach, recently broke the big news regarding Ilia's next opponent, confirming that the fight with Islam Makhachev is by far the most likely to happen, while he acknowledged the appeal of other big names, Conor McGregor for financial rewards and Alexander Volkanovski as the most deserving challenger. Coach made it abundantly clear that the Makhachev fight is the one that is going to materialize. He didn't just talk about the potential of the other fights, he stated that they aren't realistic at this time. McGregor, while a huge name, isn't in the cards for now, and Volkanovski, despite being a top contender, is not the immediate focus either. Instead, Coach revealed that all the signs are pointing toward a showdown with Makhachev. This is the fight that will make the most sense for Ilia's career, and is the one that is most likely to happen next. With this announcement, Coach Kliman made it clear that the battle with Islam is not just a possibility, it's practically a certainty. Defeating Makhachev would elevate Ilia's career to unprecedented heights and cement his legacy as one of the greatest fighters of all time. In an interview with a Georgian outlet Crystal Sport, Coach stated, quote, "The three fighters most often named as potential opponents for Ilia are Islam Makhachev, Conor McGregor, and Alexander Volkanovski. A fight with Makhachev would make Ilia a legend. A fight with Conor would bring him significant financial rewards. And if we're talking about the most deserving opponent, that's Volkanovski. Ilia would agree to fight any of them. However, I'm almost certain that the fight with Islam is the one that will happen in 2025. And if Ilia defeats him, he will cement his place as the greatest fighter of all time. This is a unique opportunity for future generations to talk about Ilia's achievements. I believe this is the best option. To be honest, Ilia himself also wants to fight Islam the most and defeat him with a submission, something no one has done before." End quote. Islam Makhachev is set to take on Arman Tsarukyan this month in a high-stakes battle, and should he win, there will be few contenders left that Islam has yet to face. This puts his potential fight with Ilia Topuria in a strong position, as it could indeed be the next major matchup in the division. However, there is a potential issue. Makhachev has also revealed plans to move up to welterweight and challenge for the championship there. If he decides to make that leap, it could push a showdown with Ilia into uncertainty. Still, the momentum is building, and the Topuria versus Makhachev fight remains a very real possibility, especially if welterweight champ Belal Muhammad successfully defends his belt against Shavkat Rakhmonov, as Islam and Belal have very close friendship. UFC President Dana White has shut down rumors about plans in Saudi Arabia to match John Jones against Francis Ngannou. Instead, Dana made it clear that John is taking on Tom Aspinall next. Jones successfully retained the UFC heavyweight title against Stipe in November, which seemed to set up a potential defense against interim champion Tom Aspinall. However, Jones has hinted that he might be more likely to retire or fight Pereira rather than face Aspinall. Despite this, Dana insists that a fight between Jones and Aspinall is what's next for both fighters. This week, Dana unveiled on Twitter that the idea of a Jones versus Ngannou matchup is not happening. He responded directly to the speculation, stating that's not in the plans. John versus Tom is what's next. What do you guys think? Are you interested in the potential Ilia-Islam matchup? Or would you prefer to see Ilia face a featherweight contender like Movsar Evloev or Diego Lopez? Leave your comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for daily MMA news.